Okay. So your final project, if you go to your Google Drive folder, the instructions are under project. Your final project is a culmination of your semester-long company analysis, your chosen company. And what you're going to do here is you're going to pull all the graphs and tables that you've worked on so far and write a one-page executive summary. And I have specific instructions for what that for the formatting of that summary. So, I want this executive summary to be one page, single spaced, between 600 and 700 words, 12-point font, and standard 1-inch margins. You might suspect why I'm specifying this. Sometimes students will do double spacing and really wide margins, and there's very little text that remains. You can use the analysis that you have used before. However, make sure that it flows, that you have transitions. Do not copy paste paragraphs from prior analysis and just throw it in there. I will see that and I will take points off. Okay? Now, what I expect is your stock return chart, your beta and regression chart from your most recent assignment, assignment 2, the financial ratios and their accuracy, and the quality of the executive summary. The executive summary, it has the most weight because you need to write. It. That's really the only thing that you need to do new if you got full grades for the prior assignment. So, for example, if you got 100% for your prior 2 assignments, the stock returns and financial statement analysis, you literally can just copy and paste those graphs in there. Okay. If I told you your formatting, you need to adjust your formatting, or your graph has the data flipped, then I'll cover that in just a second. Then you need to redo it and enter the new information, okay? And I will see that. I will compare your prior assignments to the new one. Jackson?
Do those have to fit on the same page as
No,
writing?
no. So, good question. So here, you will submit one PDF file with 4 pages, okay? 1 page, executive summary, page 1. Second page, and please, you can address me, don't address me for half a page. Sometimes students do that too. I want 600, 700 words, and I will count them if I have any doubts, okay? So you can address me, it's nice, but make sure you have the content. Sometimes students think that this is just some kind of imaginary number I came up with. No. The word count and the number of pages I'm asking you are a gauge for you on how in-depth you need to go. This is true for all assignments, not just this class. Same as if you go to a workplace and your boss is asking you for 1 page, they're telling you how much information they want. Okay? They don't want to read 5 pages. They don't want to read 10 pages. They want you to tell them key information, and if they have questions, they will make sure to follow up. All right? Okay, so 1 page executive summary, 1 page company analysis. So the financial statement, you have 2 tables there, right? 1 with data, 1 with ratios. Include both. Because that data is also something that you source, and it's not a super long data like for the stock returns of 5 years. So for stock returns, I want the graphs, not the data. Does that make sense?
Is that so with stock returns for third page?
Yes. For the financial statement analysis assignment 1, the 2 tables, 1 with the financial statement items, 2 with financial statement analysis. So in assignment 1, you had to record some information from the financial statements. You had to have total assets, current assets, net income. So you had to have items, select items from income statement and balance sheet. Okay? Include that there. It doesn't take a lot of space. The reason I've asked you in assignment 2, and I'm going to ask you for this one as well, not to include the S&P 500 and your stock data, is because it's a many pages. You have 60 data points. Okay, it's a lot. I don't want to see it. If it's just a 1 table with a few select data points, that's fine. Then you can use that. You can attach that.
So
Yes.
it's basically just all our tables and graphs minus that one, without the explanations.
No explanations, your executive summary should cover all of them, okay?
Okay. So this is the first one.
One and two, these two.
Okay, and that would
One
be,
page.
so that would be on page 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So the tables, the one with the financial statement data and then your ratios, page 2. Page 3, stock returns graph. Okay? Page 4, beta, the scatter plot. So maybe I'll include that here, what to submit. Okay. Okay, now I have a comment about the stock returns assignment. For the stock returns assignments, I pulled the data here. Oh, sorry. I pulled the data here, and you have this is some random information. I asked you to pull the data from Yahoo Finance. And the formula I gave you was the return formula for capital gain is price price 1 minus price 0 divided by price 0. This is a general formula regardless of the sorting. But because the sorting was different between you guys, that formula will change. For example, if I have my data sorted from oldest to newest, my formula will be, this is my new data for ABC, this is my old data for ABC, right? So my return will be old price minus new price divided by, one more time. New price minus old price divided by the old price. Okay? Now, what I've noticed with a lot of you guys, the sorting, you kept the sorting as downloaded from Yahoo Finance and kept the formula the way I showed you. Depending on how the data is downloaded, different data sources will present data either in order of oldest to newest or newest to oldest. Okay, it depends. That will also influence how you enter that formula. So notice that this student, they calculated the price as B3, which is here, divided by B2. So what they did is the old price divided by the new price minus 1, which is an equivalent of old price minus new price divided by the new price. That is not correct. Okay, so those of you who received my comment about this, fix it if you want to receive a full grade. Okay? Why is this not correct? Let me tell you intuitively, okay? If my returns are always going to be, I'm comparing the new price to what I paid for this asset, okay? That is always the return. So now, if I look at these two prices, I don't even have to look at your formula to know whether your returns are correct or no. Why? Because if in October, ABC was selling for $81, and in November, it was selling for $84, I know that the return was positive because it's higher, right? But here, I have a negative. So then I started looking at what's going on. It's the sorting. Your formula, P1 divided by P0 minus P0 divided by P0, or equivalently the same, P1 minus divided by P0 minus 1, that formula, if you have, this formula will be B2 minus B3 in parentheses divided by B3, but if you have the data sorted differently, it will be B2 minus B3 divided by B3, depending on how your data is sorted. okay? So make sure, I'm going to post this short video on my YouTube, okay? So you guys, if for any reason any one of you guys didn't check for that, check for it again. Now, so the correct form, so if the data is sorted from oldest to newest, like this, let's see. I'm gonna copy this to a new tab. And let's say my data, so I'm going to now sort this data. And let's say you want to be consistent. How would you approach this? You highlight the data you want to sort, and you go to the data tab and you go to sort, okay? And now I'm gonna click my list has headers. If your list has headers, it's a nice thing to do. And I'm gonna sort it by date. And right now, this is sorted from newest to oldest. The default is oldest to newest. I'm going to change that. And now this data is sorted starting in December 2019 to November 2024. It doesn't matter. The sorting doesn't matter. Okay, so the sorting is just how you present the data. However, your Excel formula will change, right? Your return formula will always be price 1 minus price 0 divided by price 0, which is the same as price 1 divided by price 0 minus 1. But the way you program that in Excel depends on how your data is sorted. So you will have, if I have my data sorted from oldest to newest, I will look at my newer data point, January 2020, divided by my older data point, December 2019 minus 1, okay? And now let me check this intuitively. All right, so in December, my stock was selling for 36, but in January, it was selling for 35. That tells me if it's selling for less, my return has to be negative. It's a loss. And it's a negative. Okay, well, then I got something. And then with S&P, it's easier now. Okay, well, it's not easier. I just dragged the formula. Okay? If my data is sorted from newest to oldest, then if my data is sorted from newest to oldest, my price 1 divided by price 0 formula minus 1, now I have to look at, okay, my price 1 is higher up, divided by price 0 minus 1, okay? So notice how this is B2 divided by B3 minus 1, and here I have B3 divided by B2, January, divided by this is correct, this is ABC. So now I'll have a different formula. I go down, and my return from January to December is negative 325. It's negative 325 here because it's sorted differently. So the sorting, you can present your sorting however you like. Okay? Yes.
I thought it was the first one minus the next one over the second one. You're doing minus 1.
You see that formula is the same.
No, you're right.
This is so. Can you change this so it doesn't look like 1 over 1? I mean, it's the same. Okay. So I'm gonna post it on Google Drive under class notes, okay, or maybe under project. So if you got that comment from me in your grade, make sure to adjust that, okay?